Hello everyone, I'm Mike Feltberger, and it's time for the July 5th Grandview Speedway High Banks highlights, the recap of the racing action at the third mile High Banked Oval in Bechtelsville, Grandview Speedway. They had a nice field of 35 small block modifieds, 37 sportsmen, and I'm going to have to thank my wife Mina for supplying me with all the race info. I was the hill official, the official that led the drivers from the speedway into the pit area, filling in for the legendary Larry on the hill last night. So I'm going to do a quick recap of the racing action down at Grandview. First up, Sportsman Heats. Chase Gooler taking the win in the 2, looking pretty sharp in the 2. They said they had engine issues, sort of found the problem, and Chase won the first Sportsman Heat. Teague Miller in the 917 getting the second Sportsman win, with Brad Brightbill in 19, your third heat winner, and Nate Horn in the 28 capturing the fourth Sportsman Heat. Consolations were won by Nathan Moore in the 17M and Brett Grimm in the 611. Modifieds, Eric Corman took the Bailey Bunch 81 under the checker for the first small block modified heat win. John Kellner in the 21 was your second heat winner, with Ron Herring Jr. in the 85 getting the third heat win for the modifieds. Consolation was won by the 00 driven by Cody Manmiller. First up was the modified feature. Fantastic feature it was. They ran non-stop until lap 21, had an incident down between turns 3 and 4 with Brett Cressley and Logan Watt. Logan Watt needing the double hook to get the 4M off the speedway, but once racing resumed, there was a fantastic racing to the finish. Ron Herring Jr. led all 21 laps at the time in the 85. In fact, he had a commanding lead over a straightaway lead until the yellow flag, a red flag, they made a red flag for Logan Watt, slowed the racing action down. Restart, John Kellner took the inside, Herring took the outside, and coming off of turn 4 for the lap 22 green, Kellner made a nice move on the low side, got the lead and the eventual win, having to ward off the challenges of Jeff Strunk in the 357. So I'll give the recap top 10 for the small block modifieds last night. John Kellner taking the win, his first win since August of 2013. They also said they had some handling issues and got that straightened out, and it seemed to work to perfection last night, with Kellner taking his first win since 2013. Jeff Strunk in the Hansel 357 looking pretty sharp, wheeling through the field for the second place finish. Jared Umbenhauer, another strong showing in the 19, getting the third position. Brett Cressley getting fourth in the 19K. Mike Gooler right behind them underneath the Ray Kemp checker, getting fifth in the 53. Dwayne Howard in the 15G was sixth. Clay Butler, a nice strong showing in the 4B for the veteran racer, getting seventh, with Craig Von Doren in the 30 getting your eighth position after the 30 laps were completed, followed by Rick Laubach in the 7 finishing ninth, and your 10th finisher, another strong showing for Bobby Trapper Sr. Bobby got the sharp-looking 69 under the checker for 10th. Your hard charger was Loudon Reimert, going from 27th to 13th. Sportsman feature. They had a couple of issues before the race started. Brett Grimm, your consolation winner, had a scratch. Taking his place was Hartzell. Hartzell was a starter at the back of the field, and taking the provisional was Gavin Krupp in the 5K. Gavin taking the provisional spot. He was in the top 10 in points, had a little issues early in the night, could not even make the call for his qualifying event, came out, was actually the first alternate, it would have been the first alternate in the feature. They had two consolations, and Hartzell and Krupp, actually I guess I had to flip a coin or whatever the case may be in determining who gets it, but Hartzell ended up being the alternate and Krupp took the provisional. Top 10, Colin Cox. Colin Cox on a mission, your current point leader at a 59, sailing through the field. But Chase Gooler had a good, strong run in the 2 early in the race, led pretty much of the early sessions of the Sportsman feature, putting the 2 out in front, but Colin Cox tracked him down with a nice high side pass coming off of turn 2, and he was never to be denied the win in the 25-lap Sportsman main. Brett Gilmore actually got by Chase midway through the 25-lap main event for the Sportsman Modifieds, looking strong in the 7, getting second place. And Chase Schooler did get a podium finish of 3rd in the number 2. Mike Schneck Jr. getting the 4th position in the 2 with Teague Miller, the 917, your 5th place finisher. Dylan Swinehart, the 38S, was 6th. Kenny Bach, another good showing for Kenny, getting the 6 under the finish line for 7th. Jesse Landis, 2-time feature winner in the 973, was 8th. Brad Brightbill putting the 19th in the payoff window for the 9th place position. And Kenny Gilmore was involved in an early race accident, come back through the field to get 10th in the 7K. Your hard charger was Brett Gilmore, coming from 24th to 2nd. So that rounded out your night of racing down at the High Banks at Grandview, with John Kellner getting the small block modified win in the 21, and Colin Cox, and now a 3-time winner in the Sportsman in the 59. Next up will be the Firecracker 40 for the Sportsman Modifieds on July the 12th. And July the 19th, it'll be back to the 90s. $10 admission, general admission, $10 for anybody wanting to come down to the Grandview Speedway. Also, the Firecracker 40 will be televised by ATVN, where Randy Kane and I will be your moderators and announcers for the evening. So hope everybody had a safe and happy 4th of July. See you at the Speedway on July the 12th. I'm Mike Feltberger. Have a great day.